Well, hi everybody. It's Geoffrey here again from St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church, and once again I'm here with my son Mike, and we're offering one of the daily online devotionals for the church. I was walking this morning and I was noticing the trains, and I was noticing them going and coming, and I was thinking about potash going in one direction, providing fertilizer, and then oil going in another direction that provides the fuel for the trucks that bring our food to us from all over the continent. And if you think about it, it's really a marvel that we can go to the stores and we can pick up a spaghetti squash, and after a few weeks when things are a little scarce, we can get bread flour again and we can make bread. Or we can find more exotic things. We can get the avocados from Mexico and the mangoes, and then the familiar and the beautiful things like our yams and our sweet potatoes. Not everyone has that same access to food, and that's one of the concerns that we all have. Folks may go hungry. One of my mentors in faith was a friend of my father's named Gordon Asquith. And at the time I was looking for God to speak to me as if from a burning bush. And Gordon would smile at me and he would say, well, while you're waiting, I'm going to go and unload boxcars. And he went and unloaded boxcars for the Canadian Food Grains Bank, which is still a going concern. And I think now about how wonderful that man was. He was at that time already into his 70s, and there he was unloading boxcars of grain. There are other examples out there that I take inspiration from. One is the Sprout Foundation, and it is doing a lot of work partnering all across the country to do two goals: no poverty and zero hunger. I like what the co-founder Visma Sprout said, that she is driven by her belief that having hope is central to a person's journey from merely surviving to genuinely thriving. The Hebrew Bible is very clear about reminding people that they were to think of those who had less opportunities than the landowners and the people who had wealth. Twice in Leviticus and once in Deuteronomy, there are very clear instructions reminding us not to strip clear a tree of its harvest or to take every last grain out of the fields. And I've asked Mike to read from the Message paraphrase from Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy 24:21. When you harvest your grain and forget a sheaf back in the field, don't go back and get it. Leave it for the foreigner, the orphan, and the widow, so that God, your God, will bless you in all your work. When you shake the olives off your trees, don't go back over the branches and strip them bare. What's left is for the foreigner, the orphan, and the widow. And when you cut the grapes in your vineyard, don't take every last grape. Leave a few for the foreigner, the orphan, and the widow. Don't ever forget that you were a slave in Egypt. I command you, do what I'm telling you.
Thank you, Michael. That threefold formula, the foreigner, the widow, the orphan, those are a way of reminding us of the people who are on the outside, the people who were not part of the world of social privilege. As we come to the next stage of the pandemic, I invite us to turn to some of those really wonderful examples like the Canadian Food Grains Bank and like the Sprout Foundation and like our own food bank at St. Andrew's to help support others. Bread is the staff of life. Enjoy, celebrate, and share. Thanks for listening. Good to see you. Bye for now.